Good afternoon and welcome to our IMARC presentation today. My name is Peta, Rovelli and I'm the Business Development Manager for the Mining Solutions Group within Komatsu, Australia. Our Mining Solutions team is committed to innovation, efficiency and sustainability, which not only enhances operational performance, but empowers our customers to navigate the challenging and ever-evolving landscapes of our mining architecture. Through advanced technology and tailored solutions, we help drive productivity, ensuring safety and environmental responsibility.
So hi, my name's Vivian. Can you hear that all right? Yep. Hi, my name's Vivian. I've been in the mining game for around 30 years. I've been a mine manager for around 10. The last 5 at Hale Creek, and today I'm here to talk through the collaborative partnership we've had with Embedded Resources around how continuous improvement should drive our day-to-day activities.
As an extension of our long-standing relationship between Komatsu and Glencore, our Komatsu Embedded Resources partnership was developed at Hale Creek Mine. Typically, OEM's focus is on maintenance. However, the equipment is in production 90% of the time. Mining Solutions' focus areas is to operate for sustainability, to operate for productivity, and operate for reliability, linking the wider Komatsu team with our customer sites.
So particularly important for us at Hale Creek was around how we brought in the partnership and how we entrusted them and they entrusted us with data and how we get the biggest value for the game. And we talk about ensuring that it's the whole project. So this was around opening up everything, being transparent and using the data to actually get what is best for business and best outcome.
What was the difference that Komatsu's Embedded Resources team did differently that other teams and other people haven't been able to achieve at Hale Creek with something like this?
So I think the scope from the Embedded Resources team when we started was really transparent around let's open everything up, let's really find out the little dirty bits, I suppose you say. So use the data from drilling all the way through to the end, everything in mining was open to go, what are we going to do? And the process from the start to the finish was really important for me. So I'm big on culture on my side, do a lot of leadership and development, so it was important to get buy-in from the operators in every project we did. So when we got this data and we knew the projects, the involvement from the Embedded Resources team to all of my operators for each of the 5 projects we're going to talk about. And then the closeout of that, so they got the feedback, we validated the data, we then put in scorecards and visual aids for all the operators to be able to go and make change easily in their machines on a day-to-day.
Can you tell me about the cost for executing these projects?
So we're pretty lucky, and obviously this is a 2024 number, so that just keeps compounding. So we've got a 7 million BCM for 2024. That's conservative and banked. Like since now we're in sustain mode for those projects, there is bigger impact for us, but obviously the compounding stuff is better because you build that into your budget.
And Doug, were these projects initiated by yourself?
No, that's probably a good thing from a mine manager. I've got a fair bit to do on a site from day to day. So to just let Embedded Resources come in and go and get all the data and my side of Hale Creek has a lot of data. So it was a lot of data for Embedded Resources to grab. But to see the projects that come out of those and ensuring that we have really low cost to implement and a high value was pretty important. So it was all value driven through data, which made it easier for my team to then collaborate and get on board.
And what did these projects mean to Hell Creek?
Culturally, because I talk culturally a bit, but if the operators on the floor can see that you're investing and doing things to help things a bit more efficient and do things better, that helps their morale and what they do every day. But obviously from a mine point of view, it adds BCM, it adds dollars, it adds collaboration, it builds teams together, it gets people working on the same proactive result. So it's quite good when you've got a group of people that are proactively getting on like that. It's pretty infectious from an energy point of view as well.
Absolutely, and I'm not sure about any of you in the crowd, but if I was running a mine site, I'd want an extra 7 million BCMs in my back pocket for the year. Oh,
Skip one.
got click happy. So this leads us into our first project, being off-circuit travel. The objective of this project was a significant reduce in off-circuit travel for the haulage fleet. When you work at site every day, it's so easy to overlook the standard haulage fleet or the normal.
So quite significant for us. Hale Creek was still a big site from a production point of view, but was one pit. We went out into 4 different pits to get our quality of coal right. And this caused us to not see a few things. So the Embedded Resources team helped us understand where a lot of our loss of productivity was going. A lot of that was on our off-circuit travel due to the extra pits and the extra distance to travel to fuel farms in specific on this project, which doesn't sound like much, but it was something we were definitely missing. And to implement it, it was a big reduction quite quick. And again, it helps your site start to think, oh, you're looking at the small stuff. So it creates that bit of urgency, and it also helps the operators feel like they're part of something when they're getting input into it.
The results from this project was a reduction in 35,000 kilometres. Annually for the BCMs that Hale Creek gained was 329,000 annually. With the trucks continually on the haul circuit, leads us straight into dig unit proficiency.
So quite a big site, like I said. So we got 3 XV, P&H XBC 4100s. And we have a target there of around the 3-1. So we haven't been hitting our numbers for a little bit. The beauty of the Embedded Resources team, again, start to finish, we go in, we get the data, we validate the data, they talk to the operators, and that talking to the operators got us a lot of feedback on what really needed to go into the scorecard, not what we thought. We also, as a site, were doing a project on the training, and the supervisors were deciding who we were training on what they saw. Very different from the data. So the data very much got us to pinpoint and target the operators and the specific areas that we needed to train on. And then we brought a Komatsu trainer in to do that training on 4 sites, 4 crews. And then he done some extra training with a trainer on each of those sites that were doing the best out of all that. And that's all around O4R, looking after the machine, making sure your dig rates are right, making sure your cables are right. So it was the whole project. And it was a big increase for us, and still compounds.
So I think one of the things that is so incredible about the Dig Unit Proficiency program is that the training that complemented this service was really tailor-made. We weren't just going in and training the whole crew. It was certainly site-specific and crew-specific, and to what the needs required from the crews. The modular dispatch data and the Komatsu's remote equipment monitoring data, the sensor data from the shovels, was instrumental in forming a visual which typically is not available in sites. This project was a $1.56 million BCM uplift.
And you can't quite see, but the scorecard there, the operators get a lot of data for them to act on live every shift, which was the big game, was the live as they were operating.
So let's talk about the next project, which I know holds a special place in Doug's heart, the underload reduction.
I've talked about culture a bit already, and the beauty of embedded resources is they were in that. They knew that from the start, and they very much wanted to help. We did a project ourselves on payload increase, we called it. Didn't go too well with my operators, so we asked for more. You got to put more loads on. Got a bit of feedback, not real good. Didn't get any change. So the data we got from embedded resources really changed our language, and it was about how do we reduce our underloads. And the scorecards were developed from embedded resources and brought out to all the operators. All the operators had input of how they get to see that and when they get to see that. And that made a massive change culturally, because the guys are now gone from, well, why do you just always want more, to, oh, I just got to pick up. And we were around 30% of our underloads was kind to us. We had worse shifts than that. So when they realised they just had to go and load a lot more evenly and then get the underloads out, the culture change was like that. Like within a week, we saw the dramatic increase of our payloads, which obviously gives you more op hours and more BCM for you. Our truck productivity went up, which is what we're after.
So there was a total of a 22% reduction, and the value from that was 1.2 million BCM annually. So this project was very low effort, but with really high value. So no one in our industry really talks about drill improvements because it's so hard to get the measure. The objective was to conduct a comprehensive review of the time usage data and to improve the drill operation by 2%.
So we ourselves as the mine realised quite early that we weren't going to get our budget, so we had to bring in a 7th drill, which is obviously a big cost. And then embedded resources come on and helped us out. So obviously one of our 5 projects, embedded resources, went and done a time and motion study on what our operators did on the drills and how we could get our use of availability and operating time up. And there was a lot of simple things that were brought up about the way we washed the drills, the way we did our changeovers, the way we did cribs. So, and we got a lot of feedback from embedded resources people sitting on the floor with the operators and getting feedback, which is hard to explain how important that is, because if the guys feel like they've got ownership, they'll take it on and they do it. And they've done that. We've had a significant increase. The biggest gain for me on my side is that we will go back to 6 drills next year, which is obviously a huge cost to the business and something that we don't have to factor in for the budget. So it's a big improvement. Oh, and there's a second side of that is, because if you're not so far ahead with our drills and where we are on our sites, we've got 4 pits going. If your drills aren't far enough ahead and you're close all the time, you lose a lot of operating hours on your shovels and your 600-ton excavators, walking in and out for shots, especially with the electric shovels, a lot of downtime and a lot of labour delay, a lot of risk to operator on the floor handling cables. So the less you do that, the more they keep doing their job. And that's been not quantified in here, but that is an extra benefit to the business.
And the last project to close out this wonderful continuous improvement program is the road maintenance optimization. which the goal was to improve our Komatsu 960E fleet to flat haul speed, to increase the flat haul speed by 3% through optimising the use of greater resources.
So this was a interesting one. Like I said, we've gone from one small pit to 4 pits. We've just introduced another pit. So this information was there, but was never where people could use it. So Embedded Resources helped us out and get that. So that's live on the grader. So that's live strut pressures from a truck telling the grader driver where he needs to go to instantaneously. So it's really helped us. We've got an extra pit now. We haven't put on an extra grader because we're grading more targeted than we are just a routine, which is what we were doing in the past. So it gives the guys, again, it's the ownership thing. It's giving them something to go, oh, I've got a purpose for the shift. I know what I've got to do. And if it continues to beep up after they've graded it, it sends another signal for us to know, hey, we've got to go and do a bit more of a serious repair there. So it's quite big for the way we do our business.
So leverage data from the Komatsu trucks combined with the modular dispatch data pioneered new solutions to solve challenging problems. At Komatsu, we are transforming the way customers manage equipment with our remote equipment monitoring program. Utilising Komatsu's Contracts Plus air relay device and our new embedded device, we provide real-time data and insights that enhance operational efficiency and minimise our downtime. This innovative approach allows our customers to monitor equipment remotely, ensuring optimal utilisation and proactive maintenance. By leveraging this advanced technology, we empower our customers to make informed decisions, ultimately driving productivity and reducing costs. For more information on our remote equipment monitoring services, please visit our Komatsu stand where our team would be more than happy to answer any of your questions.
Okay. I suppose for me, so it's a big thank you to Embedded Resources for asking me to come up here today. Also for the way they conducted business and conduct business with ourselves at Hale Creek. Very much embedded themselves to be quite proactive, use data-driven resource, very integrated with my team. The collaborative forum that it created and the energy it created with some of the improvements we got was really good for morale. And by the end of it, well, even not by the end of it, probably halfway through it, it was just Embedded Resources were the way we did business. They were trusted to come up with the projects going forward to keep me in the loop of where we were going. So it was a very important relationship. It's something that continues to flourish, which is obviously why I'm here today. So thank you to Embedded Resources and Komatsu and you, Pete.
Embedded Resources started with an opportunity. Through our commitment to Hale Creek, we were able to build credibility through these projects and through a strong partnership. We achieved the status of a trusted advisor by creating value together. Now, I'm only up here to tell you about this wonderful work that our Embedded Resources team has done, and I absolutely cannot take any credit for this. However, I can give credit where credit is due, and I would absolutely like to thank Barry Parmenter and Dan Paul for executing this work and for creating this value for Hale Creek. Because without those two gentlemen and the support of the team, this improvement project and the continuous improvement work that our Komatsu team does would not be possible. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank my wonderful partner in crime up here, Doug Vivian. I've known this man for a very long time, and the work that we do at Hale Creek and the partnership that we have through Komatsu and through the site is absolutely phenomenal. And thank you all for taking the time to listen to us today. Again, if you have any questions or we can discuss with you further of any information that you require from today's slide pack and chat, we will be over at the Komatsu booth, and these slides will be made available for download after IMARC. So thank you.
Thank you.